Okay. Some people have heard you talk about a mortgage fund and they don't really understand how a mortgage fund works. So why don't you explain that?
A mortgage fund is simply collecting money from investors, putting that money together, and the investors saying, "Sir, we think you have probably a little bit more expertise than us. Can you go and find borrowers and properties which we could invest in, because yes, we want to take some money out of term deposits at 1% and potentially get a 6% return." So the fund manager is the middleman between investors and between locating and assessing good borrowers.
Yeah. But lots of mortgage funds would actually invest in building projects that relate to mortgages. You guys have a twist on that, don't you really?
Yes, well we do. We mainly do take as security residential and industrial properties.
Yeah.
We took a view when we set up the fund, although we had no knowledge what was coming. We have not at this stage, and will not for a while, do any construction loans. So if a borrower got into difficulty, we wouldn't have that added risk of potentially having a half-finished 14-storey building. All the properties we take a mortgage over are complete and are readily saleable. So that's a very deliberate strategy we've taken.
And you've also, and so in a sense, you're lending on other activities like
Yes.
hopefully a successful business, and the person who's borrowing it says, well, here's my $10 million house, I'll put that up as security.
Exactly. Exactly.
But you've also been discriminatory in terms of regions around Australia, and some of our friends in WA will be saying, why?
Why? I think, and when I ran a national fund, we lent money everywhere, but when you start again, you start small.
Yeah.
And my view is you always start in your own backyard and then you expand. So at the moment, we would look at loans in Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne. As we get comfortable with that and we can settle some more loans, we would look to go further afield.
Yeah. So in a sense, the East Coast, you must think is an easier market to sell.
Yes.
I know the Adelaide market's always a bit slow, but
Yes.
it does rise. WA's had a rough spot after having a fantastic spot.
Yes.
So there's more security in the East Coast.
Yep, less volatile. And Perth's a great place. I've visited there often, Peter. But when it's booming, and when it's busting, it's busting.
Okay.